Have you ever spent hours perfecting a design, picking just the right shade of ocean breeze blue, aligning everything down to the pixel, maybe even whispering sweet nothings to your font choices, only for people to completely ignore it? Yeah. That's not because your audience is made up of ungrateful monsters. It's because human vision doesn't work the way you think it does. And that is the beating heart of Colin Ware's book, Visual Thinking for Design. It's like getting the cheat codes for how people actually see and process visuals. And spoiler alert, our eyes are less like IMAX cameras and more like lazy search engines that only fetch what we ask for. Let's break it down. We think we see the world in glorious HD reality. We're running on a weird mix of live feed and placeholder text. One famous experiment proved this. A researcher asked someone for directions, two guys carry a door between them, and boom, a totally different person swaps in mid-conversation. Over half the people never notice. Different hair, different face, different gender, still nada. This is called just-in-time vision. Instead of absorbing everything, we scan for exactly what we need in that moment. The world becomes our external memory, and our eyes are basically the tabs we keep open. Design takeaway? Don't expect your audience to see everything. They'll only see what's relevant to their immediate search query, which is why the London Underground map works so well. People aren't studying the whole thing. They're just hopping between a few key points with color-coded breadcrumbs to guide them. Now here's a game. Imagine looking for a bright red sports car in a parking lot. You spot it instantly. Now imagine looking for a gray Honda Civic among 200 other gray Hondas. Suddenly, you're auditioning for a role in The Walking Lost. Why? Because our brains have feature detectors. They're like 24/7 security guards scanning for basic stuff: color, size, shape, movement. If something is different in a single way, it pops instantly, like a red dot in a sea of blue ones. But the moment you need to find something with two unique features, say a red circle among red squares and blue circles, your brain goes, nope, we're doing this the hard way. You have to check each item one by one, and that's slow. Design tip: make important stuff stand out with one strong basic feature, big size, bold color, or obvious shape. And if you have multiple important elements, give them each their own feature so they don't fight for attention. Bonus: movement is the nuclear option. Our brains evolved to notice motion instantly, which explains both why predators survived and why banner ads are the internet's mosquitoes. Here's another twist. Even though we live in 3D, our brains are built for 2D patterns. It's what scientists call 2.5D vision. We're great at figuring out left, right, up, and down, but depth takes extra work. That's why flat diagrams, clean edges, and distinct regions work so well in design. Our brains love grouping things that look similar. Same color, same direction, same texture. Boom, they get mentally filed together. This grouping instinct means you can guide attention without even saying a word. The catch? Complex patterns or shapes still take conscious effort. So if you're designing something meant to be skimmed, keep it simple and visually obvious. Now let's talk color, because this is where most design sins happen. Did you know tigers' stripes are basically invisible to their prey? Deer and zebras see the world in grayscale. To them, a tiger blends right in. Humans, on the other hand, evolved to spot ripe fruit. So we're great at seeing reds, greens, and blues. Your eyes use 3 cone types to detect light, but your brain rewires them into 3 opponent channels: red, green, yellow, blue, and black, white luminance. And here's the kicker. Fine details are seen only through luminance contrast. Translation: yellow text on a white background, total disaster. Black text on yellow, chef's kiss. Rule of thumb: for small or detailed stuff, crank up the light-dark difference and stick to unique hues: red, green, yellow, blue, black, white. Anything more than 12 colors for coding, and your audience's brain throws up its hands. Also, color changes depending on its surroundings. A gray can look darker or lighter based on the background. Always test colors in context, not in isolation. Here's another gem. Words and pictures are not interchangeable. They're teammates. Words are great for logic, sequences, and if this, then that thinking. Visuals are great for showing relationships, patterns, and spatial information. That's why the best presentations aren't walls of text. They're images, diagrams, or charts, with the speaker linking them through pointing and narration. It's like a dance between verbal and visual thinking. If one partner hogs the spotlight, the whole performance flops. So next time you're explaining something complex, ask yourself, do they need step-by-step logic? Use words. Do they need to see how it all fits together? Use visuals. And when in doubt, combine them. Finally, my favorite part, the messy magic of sketching. Michelangelo didn't start the Sistine Chapel ceiling with a perfect plan. He started with thousands of chaotic, half-formed sketches. Why? Because sketching is thinking. Researchers call it constructive perception, the ability to see meaning in random marks. Draw a squiggle, add a tiny triangle and circle, and suddenly, bird. Sketching lets you have a conversation with your own ideas, externalizing stuff your working memory can't juggle. And with the right technology, we can push this even further, combining human pattern recognition with computer data processing to make our thinking faster, clearer, and more creative. The grand takeaway? If you want to design effectively, don't fight how people see. Work with it. Our vision is selective, biased towards simple features, better at 2D than 3D, dependent on contrast for detail, and fueled by a tag team of words and visuals. Get those principles right, and you'll create designs that don't just look nice, they'll work with the brain's operating system. And hey, speaking of working with the brain, yours just survived a 10-minute info dump. Reward it by hitting that subscribe button. Not only will it keep these tasty design insights coming straight to your eyes, but the bright red subscribe button is a textbook example of a high contrast feature popping element your brain literally can't ignore. See, we're already applying the book.